Conquering critters on the way to the cabin. What to do when a critter crosses your path. Welcome to episode 53 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. And of course, for all you folks who love to go to the cabins up north during the summer, listen as veteran crash investigator Mike Pehl discusses how to avoid a run-in with critters. But before he speaks, Natasha, can you tell us about the enrichment and observation you found for today's topic?
Yes. So we have Adina from Lancaster, Minnesota. My parents told me some memorable driving stories. My mom told me one when she had just gotten her license and was on her way to school. There was a deer in the ditch, and my mom assumed it was going to run away. So she kept driving, and the deer ran across the road, and she hit it. She wasn't hurt, but it did scare her.
Anybody else had a deer issue?
I have not.
No,
Yes.
I have.
No.
Have you, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've
never hit a deer. I've never hit a deer. I had three hit me. Three
That's
ran on the
wild.
side of my car. Yeah. Three of them.
I had three too. I was
What
coming
the
around
heck?
and it was dark, and I went around, and all of a sudden you could see the light eyeballs, like
Yeah.
these little, right on the side of the road coming out of the brushes, because we were like in like a cornfield area when we were running, and I'm like, okay, well, they're there. They look like they're waiting for me. They're looking at me. And as soon as I got right there, and they ran across, and they just jumped over my thing. Two were okay and one was not. But
That's
how about you,
terrifying.
Mike? I don't know what happened to you, but it surprised me that they jump out.
And out of the ditch, all of a sudden there was a leap, and a deer tried to jump over the front of my car.
Oh,
Of course, that one, hit the front of the car, like right there. And then all of a sudden it went boom and boom. If my window would have been down, I would have got a big kiss from one. It was all slippery
yeah.
and bloody and
Mhm.
everything. So anyway,
I had a lot of fur on my
yeah,
mirror outside.
Oh my gosh.
Jane, deer don't have fur. It's called hair.
It's called hair.
Hair, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So anyway,
I didn't know.
it's kind of like the slapstick.
You mean we can't have a fur deer coat?
Anyway,
No.
let's get back.
Sorry.
Let's get back to the critters.
No, Jane, we can't.
Let's get focused. Critters,
It's a fall
critters to the
one.
cabin. Critters to
Sorry.
the cabin. Okay.
Okay.
So guys, listen, deer are always a problem. I don't care where you go, we got deer. It's just some things for the summertime, and it's not just going to the cabin, it's going to work, it's going whatever, they're out. So just so you know, I've done a couple of deer management classes in my great career, whatever, on how deers behave, believe it or not. This time of year, the bugs are bad no matter where you go. Where are they worse?
My water.
In the woods,
Oh.
where there's no birds or bats or anything that's going to eat them. And who are in the woods? The skunks, the raccoons, the deer, the possums, the bobcats, the panthers, depending on where you're at. Okay. And so you're going to start seeing more critters out during the day than at night. You now are starting to see them in the day because they come out of the woods because the bugs are so bad.
Mm.
Okay. So, just my last 3 weeks of doing behind the wheels, almost every day we're seeing deer in the ditches out grazing and eating. And that's why I keep telling my students, listen, they're out because of this reason. Anyway, we just talked about distraction and rolling cars like a couple podcasts ago. And you need to remember this, folks. We do not lose control of our car because of an animal, a deer, a dog. Yep, a dog. A cat. Yep, a cat. A squirrel, a possum, a raccoon. Raccoons hang out in groups. The family of raccoons are out on the side of the roads at night right now. Okay. So you'll go by and you'll see, 2 or 3 raccoons dead on the side of the road. Possums. Everybody's got little ones, geese, ducks. You have to be disciplined, and it's really, really hard to do. And I don't want to run over a bunch of little ducks, but guess what?
Mhm.
sometimes you have to do these things. I want you to think of the person behind you, and it brings me back to um, downtown St. Paul many, many, many years ago. A mommy duck on a 5-lane highway, freeway, Interstate 35E going into St. Paul, Minnesota, over by Little Canada. And a mama duck's taking her 8 little ones across the road. Cars are slamming their brakes on so they don't hit these things. It caused like a 40-car pileup, and guess what? All the ducks got ran over anyway. They all got ran over, and it's the circle of life. It is what it is. We have with the population growth, we have animals that can't do what they used to do. It is what it is. And we're not going to stop it. They're going to be out there. So why do you want to take your life, the people in your car's life? Because really, remember, you, the driver, need to make that decision. Yes, and I get it if you're way up in the northern parts of the states where the moose are and the elk are, that I don't want to hit a moose. I don't either. But what could be worse than hitting a moose? Hitting a tree. They're the same thing. So maybe at that point we slow down a little bit. Okay. So this, if the speed limit is 65 at night out in the middle of nowhere and there's no cars around, do you really want to go 65? See, I don't. I like to bring her down a little bit because I want to see them eyes. And when I see the eyes, like Jane, you said, you will see the eyes glow. And when you see them, we just don't start saying, what is it gonna do? You start slowing down. And remember this, if you see one deer, you're gonna see another deer. And if a deer ever does cross the road and you can see it and it stops and looks backwards, there's more coming. Okay. If there's the last one will never look back. So if there's a line of them, 3, 4, 5 of them, they'll always go across and then they look back. So just so you know, that means there's going to be more deer crossing. And when they stand there and you think they're looking at you, your headlights are blinding them. In the daytime, they see. They don't have good vision. Their vision is more blurred. It's the smell. Their keen senses their smell, but their vision, you're blinding them in the lights, and all of a sudden, when your lights get past the part that is blinding them, that's when they dart out in front of you because now they see an object, and that object is you.
Yes.
So, and same thing with you know what? It messes up your car. Your insurance is going to cover it. It's an animal. Sorry. Your windshields, I know people are so worried about because Tommy Boy, the movie. Well, what about Tommy Boy? The deer actually woke up inside the car. It's not going to happen. Out of the millions of deer that get hit, less than 1/100% end up in the car. Your windshield is actually made to deflect, and unless they jump and come down on top of it, if you hit it, it's going to glance them off. It's going to break it, and a horn could poke through it, and you could get glass shatter in your face. That all happens. And not just deer, a duck that's taken off, a turkey that's taken off, sandhill cranes, eagles get hit. We have a lot of animals. The mental part of driving, we all need to know. We don't lose control over an animal. We stay the road. We don't endanger other people. It's not worth rolling your car. Perfect example. Turtle crossing the street. Way back in my insurance days, a turtle crossing the street. A mom swerves to miss the turtle, rolls the car, paralyzes her 9-year-old son from the neck down.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Okay, guys, turtles are cool, but guess what? That sticks in my mind today that we don't swerve to miss stuff. Because when you swerve at high speeds, bad things happen. Okay, when you slam your brakes on at high speeds, there's always somebody following too close to you. What is the car behind you going to do? Yes, I'm going to give it to you now. It's thud, thud, or thump, thump, or it's a crash. So steer the crash in your benefit, and you'll survive it. So
And
critters
like
on
you
the
say,
road,
maybe not drive so fast at
yeah,
night,
yes,
even
Mhm.
you
because
know,
at least you won't maybe hit so hard on.
right. Yeah, I always love the one radio station. I heard this one time too. So a lady calls into this talk radio show and says, why do they always make the deer? Because the crossing says deer crossing
Yeah.
next 5 miles. Why don't they make the deer cross someplace else? Why do they allow them to
I know.
cross there? So this lady calls out. So you know what? They're all over. They roam. Animals roam. They're wild. We cut through. We make roads or paths. Think
Yes.
about that through their territory. It's their territory
Mhm.
that's crossing the street.
Mhm.
So thank God we're not animals because when we cross the street, we don't want people thudding us. Thump,
No.
thump,
That's right.
another pedestrian. So anyway, it's got to be a mindset, guys. Once again, as you're driving at night, I'm big on this. You need to practice it. What would I do if a deer came out right now while you're driving? Music's going, you're talking in your car with your friends, your family. Right now, if a deer came out, what would I do? Sometimes maybe moms or kids or whoever ask your driver, if a deer came out right now, what would you do? Okay, so
Okay, so
start.
my question would be, you don't slam on them. Will you look in your rearview mirror if someone's behind you?
Mhm.
Well, no, you should know that anyway, but just remember this, when we slam on our brakes,
Yes.
I'm sorry. When we slam on our brakes, what does the front of the car do? It goes down. What does
Yes.
the deer do? Now the deer comes up on top. Okay. So if that car's up, that deer should be hit right there, and it usually will throw them away from you. So it's good to slow down. It's hard. I'm going to say it's hard. It's hard not when I see animals, and I say to myself, don't brake. It's hard. And I'm just telling you, if you
Okay.
don't mentally get yourself disciplined, you're going to hit the brakes and you're going to swerve. And also, if there is a roadkill on the road
Yeah.
and you're
What?
and you're going to go over the top of it, a lot of people go into oncoming lanes to go around this thing. All right. Most roadkills, unless it's a deer roadkill, you don't want to drive over the top of them. But if you're going to go around a roadkill, if you have a blacktop shoulder, not if you have a dirt shoulder, you're better off hitting the roadkill than you are to kill yourself again. It's not just a live animal, it could be a roadkill animal. But
Mm.
we don't want to go around to the left because that's oncoming traffic. We take our roadkills on the right. All right. Most of them, if you are a driver that looks way up where you're supposed to, and you see a spot on the road, don't wait till you get to it to figure out what it is. Hey, I got something coming up. Guy behind me's a little close, a little bit too close. You don't want to, you let up on your gas and start slowing down until you can see what's coming at you. How am I going to go around this? What kind of shoulder I have? We talk about that in classroom. We always want to know, what's our shoulder? Is it dirt, blacktop, grass? What's the edge of that? How deep is the ditch? What's in the
Mhm.
ditch? I think that's our first lesson or second lesson in our curriculum. So
Mhm.
anyway, we got to deal with it. It's out there and they're not going away. It's like distractions in a car. It's not going away. So we have to deal with them. So you know what? Mike says, guys haven't heard that before, have you?
No, never.
Yeah. Mike says, sorry, hit the animal.
Well, you had a
And
lot of other good tips in there, Mike, and I appreciate that because just, well, because when you drive to the cabins, you always see things. And also, even here, there's so much new construction and stuff that a lot of more animals are ending up out in the freeways or the streets because they've lost
Mhm.
their home to building and such.
And
So
and I got to bring this comment back up because we just talked about it in a different podcast too, that it was about the distractions of spilling something in the car or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
Once again, because you're listening to this podcast, and this is why you get your friends to listen to this podcast and other podcasts, because we know what to do. But guess what? You and we are the smarter, safer drivers but the car coming at you at the time that the deer is coming out in front of them, what are they going to do? And are they going to swerve into your lane to miss that deer? Okay. So once again, lane position on cars, there's just no stopping this. I could just go on. We can just go story to story to story. So just watch the lane position of the cars coming at you. So
Be prepared. Well, like you say, if you meet it before you need it, you will understand maybe what to do versus being a deer in a headlight.
yes, good for you, Adina and Lancaster. Good, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to thank you for your observations. And of course, we want to thank all of you who are joined in today. And hopefully it will help you have a better, safer drive to the cabin this summer. And within the fall too, of course, with all the lovely trees, tree changing colors. And anyway, with that, I want to say you can watch other podcasts on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Drive Safe Ride Safe 1, which is the number, not the word. Or you can go to our drivesaferidesafe.com/podcast, which is at our website. And you can, of course, check out some of our courses or check out more of our videos. And we even have a blog site too there as well. And of course, we want to give a shout out to people who have been emailing us questions and driving stories. And you can do that too at drivesaferidesafe@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. And of course, this has been episode 53 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. I'm Jane Ubel, and we want to remind you to
Drive safe.
Ride safe.
.com. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.